Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D.
Billy
Coach
D.
Chris Wright here, Langston University. Well, you're back in. How many years in a row have you been here? Fourth year?
Yeah, 4 years in a row.
Wow. So 1 year with Talladega, right?
Yep.
Now 3 with Langston. Quite a run.
It has. It's time goes by quick. It's crazy.
So your season, there was a lot of conversation around the NAI world about your season this year because you had a little bit of up and down. A lot of people wanted to throw you on the barbecue and say you were done. But it was you got to admit, going into the season, everybody thought you were just going to kind of dominate, and you've had a lot of close games. But you're here in Kansas City, right? So just talk about the season.
Yeah, I think most people out there don't understand how hard it is to win in college basketball, right?
Yep.
Like, you're not going to snap your fingers and, just be good because you have a talented roster. I knew for us, obviously having literally a completely brand new team,
Right.
that was probably going to take some time for us to get where we wanted to be. But yes, it's, I think our team's faced a lot of adversity with injuries. Had a few guys early on that didn't make it for us,
Right.
which hurt us. And then our best player hasn't practiced since October and has missed, kind of been
Yeah,
in and
you
out
and
of
I
the
talked
lineup.
about that the other day too. Yeah.
So it's been a lot of things, that have made it a difficult year. But I'm proud of our guys. I think we're a resilient team, and we've won 8 in a row now coming into Kansas City.
Well, it says a lot for you guys as a coaching staff. You got a great staff yourself and Danny and your other assistant, his first name?
John Warren.
Yeah, John Warren. Thank you. You got a great staff. Talk about what it took to keep this team moving forward. So, because when things go a little bit rough, 2 things can happen. The team can get a little tighter or the team can blow up, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you were able to hold them together. You were able to get win the Sooner Conference Championship, and now you're here in Kansas City. What did it take as a staff to hold that team together and get them here?
A lot of praying.
Yeah.
No, so we somehow, some way, we were 15-2 at one point.
Right.
Then we got just absolutely hammered at MACU and kind of had the flu and had guys out. So we lost 3 games in a row there. It kind of really put us in a tailspin. And we had a bad stretch. We go and lose at Texas Wesleyan pretty decisively. And at that point, we're thinking, man, are we even going to make the national tournament? And again, having a great staff, we wouldn't have been able to have the season we had if we didn't have, Coach Neville, Coach Warren. Those guys have been tremendous. It's been awesome to have another, head coach on staff.
Right.
Coach Neville's won nearly 200 games as a head coach, played in a lot of games this time of year. And so, man, he has been really a joy to work with. He's been awesome. And so, yeah, it's been frustrating just I think from the fact for us that we've never really played kind of how we envisioned us playing. We played in so many close games, but at the end of the day, you're trying to win basketball games, and there's a lot of pretty teams right now that play pretty basketball that are at home while we're here in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how we're here, but we're here, Billy D.
Not to dwell on the staff, but I don't think people realize how good a staff you have. So John Warren's been with you a number of years, going back to Talladega.
Yeah. Great
basketball mind. Everybody knows Danny Neville. I think if you go back, I think this is his 4th out of 5th year being in Kansas City.
Yeah.
He just has that knack, just what does it mean to have those guys with you?
Yeah, they're just, I think they're winners. And winners find a way to win. What I'm proud of, from our coaching staff and our players is that I think a lot of people would have folded kind of given the circumstances. And, we all kind of stuck with it, hung in there, and then, kind of went on a nice run here, towards the end of the season. So having those guys to work with every single day and to be around our players has been just invaluable.
So you not only have them as assistants, you got an athletic director who's got probably the best coaching resume of any of you. Did she give you maybe a couple of pointers to come in and talk to the team or anything during part of the season?
Yeah, she's great. We had her come talk to the team a few times.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Our guys respond really well to her. But yeah, she's obviously a former Division I head coach. She won a lot of games at Langston. And so, yeah, having an athletic director that's a coach that's, understands kind of some of the challenges that you deal with on a daily basis is really awesome. So I feel really blessed to be able to have her as another resource to help us.
So this is your third year at Langston. Is it been a good home? Have you enjoyed your time there?
Yeah, we've loved it. That's a place I think people are very passionate about basketball. They're very passionate about winning. So yeah, we've had a great time there. I mean, we've had plenty of chances to leave after every season, but it's a special place for my family and I.
Just watching from afar, the crowds have really grown.
It's awesome.
You're good, because everybody knows that. What was the program, 2 and 40 or something before you got there, something like that. And now they just go to the gym expecting to win.
Yeah, not only win, but win decisively. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think people sometimes...
they think you're going to snap those fingers, Coach.
Yeah, I wish I had that power. I was telling a couple people, if I could do that, I'd have a lot better job than the one I had. And I like my job, but if I could do that, I'd have a lot more money too, no doubt.
Yeah, but you do get great support there, really do. Play on historic Marcus Haynes Court. I love that story. I've said, said it to you a bunch of times, but that's where Marcus Haynes played college basketball, right? Was at Langston.
For sure.
So you're, excuse me, frog in my throat. So you're in Kansas City now. You get an early draw, easy draw, the College of Idaho team I've watched play a lot. You've probably looked at them on film. I know you have. We ran into Drew Wyman the other day and we were teasing him about it. But just talk about College Idaho and what you see with them.
Yeah, not really the draw you want to get in the Sweet 16.
Very experienced.
For sure. I mean, if they're not the best NAI program in the country the last 3 years, they're right there. Obviously, have won a national championship 2 years ago. We beat them in a really, really close game last year. I think Coach Blaine is obviously unbelievable basketball coach, has a great system. I think he does a great job of recruiting players that fit his system.
Exactly.
And so there's nothing that they don't have to go win another national championship. And so, kind of other thing you don't love is the fact that, it's basically their whole team from last year, right? Minus Jake O'Neal.
Yeah.
And so
he's a big part though, but yeah, minus Jake. Yeah.
But his other guys are a year older, more experienced. I'm sure they feel that they've all gotten a little better. And so, yeah, we know how big of a challenge it's going to be. We're going to have to play really, really well to have a chance to win this game, especially as kind of, missing some guys and, not a fun game for sure.
I was talking to a couple of your guys last night, Jameson Epps, Cameron Bryce, did I say his name right?
Yeah.
And, they're up, they're ready. They can't wait. They're ready.
Yeah. Our message to them is I want them to go have fun with it. I feel like we're playing with house money now.
Those two guys are wrapping up their career too.
For sure. Yeah. This is it for them. But again, a month ago, people didn't even know if we'd make the national tournament. And so now here we are in the Sweet 16. And so we're going to go out and take our best shot.
You feel like you're playing a little bit with house money here?
A lot with house money. A lot with house money. It's funny. At one point in the season, right, I was telling my wife, like, man, if we can just make the national tournament, I'll be happy. Well, then you make the national tournament and you're like, hey, if we can just get to Kansas City. And now here we are. And obviously it's not fun to come all the way out here and have an early exit. So, so it's an awesome experience for our guys to be here, especially for so many of them, right, that have never experienced this.
So, Coach, I've known you now for a few years. I follow you on social media. You mentioned your wife. I know your family is a big support. Your wife's a big part of your success.
Yeah.
Talk about how, talk about how important it is to have that support staff and a wife that really supports you. And, she's a huge part of it. She's the brains of the operation.
Hey, there's
right?
no doubt the brains and the looks both. How about that? I couldn't do this without her. And honestly, she's really is like another assistant coach.
Yeah.
Just the relationship she has with our guys, how she steps in and helps with anything that needs to be done in our program. And she's probably, I would guess she's probably the most involved coach's wife in the country just on a daily basis. And so, yeah, it's a blessing to be able to kind of do this with her. Because as you go through seasons, it doesn't matter how good you are. There is a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
And, we put everything right that we have into this. Right, this is our lives, and so it's just what I obviously since I was 14 years old, this is what I thought I was going to do with my life, and so, and we're very passionate about what we're doing.
Yeah.
And God's really blessed me with an outstanding wife to really.
And
help
without
us.
that support system, it can be so easy to get caught in that basketball vacuum, right? Because you're in that whirlwind. But if you don't have that outside support system, that your family and your wife, it could just suck you in, and that's all you see in life is basketball.
Yeah,
I think that's where the family is really important for coaches. I go every time I run into a coach's wife, I always go up and thank them. People you don't realize what coaches' wives put up with. You do,
sure.
but they just basically give up their husband for what 6-7 months.
Shoot, 11 months.
11 months. There you go. So my suggestion to you is whatever team you follow, it's nice to go up to the coach and thank him, but go up and thank his wife.
For sure, they have a really thankless job.
It is, and they carry a lot of the burden. Coach, I wish you a lot of luck playing College Idaho. As I say, a team I've watched a lot. They're going to be a handful, but you've got a lot of athletes, and I think it's going to be interesting.
I appreciate it. We need a lot of luck in this one, so appreciate you, Billy D.
That's Coach Chris Wright. He's the head men's basketball coach, Langston University. Thank you, Coach.